Hello, welcome back to Blue Harvest Vintage Toys. On today's video I'm going to be giving you part 1 of a 2-part series. I'm going to be doing about the top 10 toys that influenced my childhood. At number 10 we're going to be starting with one of the toys I didn't really collect. I might have had a couple of them, but it was back end of my childhood. So it is the Transformers. The Transformers were a line of mecha toys produced by the Japanese company Takara, now known as Takara Tomy, and American toy company Hasbro. Initially a line of transforming mecha toys rebranded from Takara's Diaclone and Microman toy lines. It spawned the Transformers media franchise. The premise behind the Transformers toy line is that individual toy parts can be shifted about to change it from a vehicle, a device or an animal to a robot, action figure and back again. The taglines "More than meets the eye" and "Robots in disguise" reflect this ability. The Transformers toy line is typically divided into 2 main factions, the heroic Autobots and their opponents, the evil Decepticons, traditionally known in Japan as the Cybertrons and Destrons respectively, although more recent releases often use the English terms. Transformers toys are sold at a number of price points, and various Transformers series utilise unique play features. There have been many number of spin-offs based on the toys, including a comic book series, animated TV series and a feature-length animated movie. The original series programme was followed by a number of spin-offs and various levels of popularity. A live-action film series directed by Michael Bay has produced 5 films, with more planned. The Transformers toy line was created from toy molds, mostly produced by Japanese company Takara. The toy line's car robots, Diaclone, and the Micro-Change Microman. Other toy molds from other companies such as Bandai were all used as well. In 1984, Hasbro brought the distribution rights to the molds and rebranded them as the Transformers for distribution in North America. They approached Marvel Comics to create a backstory with names and short descriptions for each character, most of which were written by Bob Budiansky. The designs for the original 28 figures were made by Kojin Audio, Tashi Masuda, Hideki Yoke, Hideyuki Abara and Sachi Kizumoto. You try to say that. And I thought Budiansky was hard to say. Hasbro would go on to buy the entire toy line from Takara, giving the sole ownership of the Transformers toy line, branding rights and copyrights, while in exchange Takara was given the rights to produce the toys and the right to distribute them in the Japanese market. So that's Transformers. As I say, wasn't one of my top toys. It gets in the number 10 because it's a popular toy line. I do remember it. There was the GoBots at the same time. I think I did get 1 or 2, but they were quite expensive if I do recall. So at number 9 we have Evel Knievel. If you were alive in the 1970s and either had kids or were one, you should remember the Ideals Classics Evel Knievel toy line. These toys were as wild and as adventurous as the late great king of the stuntman himself. He stood small, about 6 inches, but they're flexible and durable, more of a bendy figure than all rubber except for his vinyl head. The basic figure came dressed in Evel Knievel's trademark American flag adorned white jumpsuits and white shoes. Additional accessories included a helmet and, strangely enough, a cane. Some other outfits were sold, like an adventure set and an Arctic adventure set, as well as the super rare set. Evel Knievel figures were a big hit, quickly followed by the next logical step, stunt vehicles, and this is what we all remember. After all, everyone wanted to fly as high as Knievel, but no one wanted the magnitude of broken bones that would inevitably be followed. Thus, Ideal's Evel Knievel stunt vehicle provided a perfect solution to this dilemma. The long-lived line of vehicles began with a stunt cycle, a working miniature cycle piloted by a bendable Evel Knievel figure. The cycle was powered by a hand-cranked power launcher that got its engine going and could be launched towards any stunt obstacle its users' further imagination could dream up. Lastly, there was Evel Knievel's favourite weekend retreat vehicle, the Scramble Van. So there you go. We all remember the hand crank of the whir of the of the Evel Knievel stunt cycle. Never worked. Never jumped out. It's just used to go off the ramp and fall over for me. So at number 8, we've got the $6 Million Man. The $6 Million Man was an American TV series about a fictional cyborg working for the OSI, which was usually said to refer to the Office of Scientific Intelligence. That sometimes was called the Office of Scientific Investigation, as well as the Office of Strategic Intelligence. The show was based on a novel Cyborg by Martin Cadin, and during the pre-production that was the post-title of the series. It aired on the ABC network as a regular series from 1974 to 1978. After following these 3 television movies aired in 1973. The title role of Steve Austin was played by Lee Majors, who subsequently became a pop culture icon of the 1970s. A spin-off of the show was produced called The Bionic Woman, and for your information, the name $6 Million Man comes not from his in-contact status, but from the fact that the operation that changes the astronaut costs at least $6 million. Kenner signed on for the rights to produce toys for the series and began distributing in 1975 what would become one of the most popular action figure lines of all time. Kenner released 3 versions of Steve Austin, as well as Oscar Goodman, his boss, Maskatron, his unstoppable enemy, and of course this line wouldn't be complete without Bigfoot. Related are the Bionic Woman action figures, which include the Bionic Woman herself and her evil nemesis, the Fembot. Not Austin Powers, no. After seeing the initial success of the basic action figures, Kenner released numerous playsets and accessories to complement the line. As I said, the standard $6 Million Man had 3 release versions. The first came with the engine block, and the left arm is not removable. The second version featured an engine block as well, but a left arm that could be popped off. The third version featured bionic grip and a steel beam for him to lift instead of the generic engine block. I remember having the one with the engine block, and on his arm he rolled his skin up to have it like a microchip, plastic microchip that's embedded into his arm. So on to number 7, which is Ghostbusters. The real Ghostbusters toy line was created by Kenner. Again, Kenner. They will pop up quite a bit in this list. From 1986 through to 1991. It was mostly related to the animated series. However, the Ecto 1A and the Ecto Charger are both related to the Ghostbusters 2 film. Also, Filmation Ghostbusters had a line of toys, as well as being produced by Tyco. The Kenner line of real Ghostbusters first hit the stores, fulfilling Christmas pre-orders in 1986. Notably, in 1986, the first print sold out in pre-orders. Later, the toys began to be put on shelves in January 1987. The line continued being made and sold until the spring of 1991, and had 10 waves of toys. It did in fact have one more wave planned. Notably, the line ended during the Kenner and Hasbro merger in 1991. So I'll give you a quick rundown of the first 7 waves, because those were the main ones really. The first wave, it is believed that the first wave of toys was released during the Christmas season 1986, mostly to fulfill layaway orders. Officially, the first advertisement appeared done by Toys R Us in the newspapers around the end of January 1987. The toy line's first printing is believed to have been all the figures, but not the Ghost Zapper or the plush toys. Second printing was a release of the additional Wave 2s and done sometime in the spring of 1987. The third printing was more likely done for the Christmas season of 1987. The Action Ghost Green Ghost incorrectly was printed in the first and second printing of the item number 81020. The toy was given the correct item number in the third pressing. The second wave was released sometime in the spring of 1987. The Action Ghost assortment started Wave 1 and additional 3 Ghost action figures. A second pressing of the 3 Action Ghosts was made for the Christmas season on 1987. The third wave was likely first released to fill layaway orders for the Christmas season of 1987. The first public promotion of the wave didn't happen until January of 1988. Initially, Fright featured Janine Melnitz was not released as she was listed on the back of the card. She was later released on the fourth wave. 3 mini Ghost toy sets were released with the assortment number 8400, mistakenly printed on the front of the card as the item number. All three also share the same barcode on the back. The Canada line printed correctly item numbers. The Fright Features heroes are the most common of the heroes set released. They released all the major foreign market toy lines, including being the exclusive hero line for Brazil's Caca Fantasmas, released by Estrela. For the fourth wave was Light Wave 2, released in late spring of 1988. Janine saw the release of the first time as an add-on on toy, the Fright line from Wave 3. Along with Haunted Humans, there were 2 ghosts released at the end, with 2 printing with errors. Haunted Humans saw a sequel of sorts in Kenneth Beetlejuice line, with the Neighbourhood Nasties group of 4 figures in the late 1990. Wave 5 saw its release in 1989. This line includes a sticker of Find the Ghost contest promotion. 6 wave, some sites merged this wave with 5 or 7. However, going back to the packaging, clearly released based on toys during spring/summer of 1989. This wave is assumed to have been released late spring around May, but Light Wave 4 and 2, it's unclear why they didn't release this as part of Wave 7 a few months later, but when the toys released in the wave didn't appear on the back of the card until the next wave card. So 7th wave, Wave 7 is more likely to release sometime in August or September, which has included a new group of hero toys. There are 3 more waves, but they're all the same characters with different features. So that's the Ghostbusters line. I'd stopped collecting toys, but I was really into Ghostbusters, still am. And this came out in 1987, I was 17. I did have a resurgence in toys. I did buy a train set about that time as well. Which does segue nicely into the last one for the part 1 of my countdown. It's number 6, Hornby. Hornby Railways is a British model railway brand. Its roots date back to 1901, where founder Frank Hornby received a patent for the Meccano construction toy. The first clockwork train was produced in 1920. In 1938, Hornby launched its first double-O gauge train, and in 1964, Hornby and Meccano were bought by their competitors Triang, and sold on to when Triang went into receivership. Hornby Railways became the independence in 1980 and became listed on the London Stock Exchange. But due to recent financial troubles reported in June 2017, it's presently majority owned by a turnaround company, Phoenix Assets Management. Hornby is a very complex story, which one I will tell it probably in a future video. As you can tell, Hornby, Meccano, Triang, Airfix, they're all intertwined, which is a very complicated story, which is one that I will tell at a later time. So thanks for watching part 1 of my top 10 toys of my life, if you like. So please subscribe to this channel for videos like this, and I will play part 1 very soon. Thank you for watching.